In the stillness of an ancient and endless night, before the world as we know it took shape, there was only the vast and unending ocean of none. It was a boundless expanse of dark, chaotic waters, where time itself seemed to pause. From this primordial sea, which stretched beyond the edge of the universe, emerged a flicker of light that would change everything. Ra, the great sun god, began as a single, radiant spark of creation. From the infinite depths of none, a divine presence stirred. It was in this darkness that Ra's light was born, not with a blinding flash, but as a gentle, comforting glow. It was as if the universe itself held its breath, waiting for this new spark to ignite a future full of life and wonder. This newborn light was not like any ordinary light. It was pure and powerful, a divine force that carried within it the promise of warmth and life. As Ra began to grow, his light spread across the vast emptiness, pushing back the darkness and slowly, ever so gently, bringing order to the chaos. It was a light that would awaken the world, giving form to what had previously been only a swirling, endless void. The first sight of Ra's light was like the first breath of morning after a long, dark night. It was said that Ra emerged from the lotus flower, a symbol of rebirth and purity. The flower itself floated upon the waters of none, and as Ra burst forth from its petals, the world began to change. This moment was not merely the birth of a deity, it was the dawn of creation itself. Ra's emergence from the lotus flower was a magnificent sight. His light spilled out in golden rays, touching everything it met with warmth and energy. It was as though the very essence of Ra infused every corner of existence with a new and vibrant energy. The dark waters of none, which had once held everything in their shadowy embrace, began to retreat as Ra's brilliance spread across the cosmos. Ra's presence was more than just a beacon of light. It was a powerful force that brought life and growth. The warmth of Ra's rays kissed the barren earth, causing it to stir and awaken. Mountains began to rise from the sea, rivers carved their paths through the land, and the first green shoots broke through the surface, eager to greet the sun. Every new dawn was a celebration of Ra's light, a testament to his role as the giver of life. In Egyptian cosmology, Ra was not just the sun god, he was the very embodiment of the sun itself. His light was a daily reminder of the balance between darkness and light, life and death. Each day, as Ra traveled across the sky, he carried with him the promise of hope and renewal. His journey was a cycle of rebirth, reflecting the natural rhythms of life and the endless cycle of day and night. Ra's connection to the dawn of creation was profound. As the world began to form under his gaze, he became not just a deity but a fundamental part of the cosmic order. His light was the source of all life, and his warmth nurtured the earth, allowing it to flourish and grow. Without Ra, there would be no day, no warmth, no life, only the endless, cold void of none. The image of Ra emerging from the lotus flower is a powerful one, capturing the essence of hope and new beginnings. It is a reminder of how something as simple as a flower can hold within it the seeds of creation and the power to change the world. Ra's birth was not just the beginning of a new day, it was the birth of a new reality, where life could thrive and grow under the watchful gaze of the sun god. As Ra's light spread across the heavens, it touched every corner of the world, bringing warmth and life to everything it encountered. The darkness of none receded, leaving behind a world full of potential and promise. The universe, once a silent and empty void, was now a vibrant tapestry of light and life, forever changed by the arrival of Ra. This moment, when Ra first emerged from the lotus flower and bathed the world in his golden light, is one of the most profound and touching in the story of creation. It is a reminder of the power of new beginnings and the endless possibilities that come with each new dawn. In the heart of Ra's light, there is a promise of hope, warmth, and life, an eternal testament to the divine spark that ignited the world. At the heart of the ancient Egyptian pantheon stood Ra, the king of the gods, a figure whose power and influence shaped the very fabric of the universe. As the supreme deity, Ra was more than a god, he was the embodiment of divine authority, the source from which all creation flowed. His presence was as undeniable as the sun itself, casting his radiant light across the heavens and the earth. Ra's position as the supreme deity was not merely a title but a profound truth woven into the cosmic order. He was the ruler over all other gods, a figure of immense power whose word was law. Every sunrise was a testament to his reign, every moment of daylight a reminder of his presence. As the sun rose each day, it was Ra's divine light that banished the darkness, asserting his dominance and reinforcing his role as the ultimate king of the gods. Yet, Ra's influence extended beyond his solitary glory. In the vast tapestry of Egyptian mythology, Ra merged with other mighty deities, creating new forms of divine power. Among these was Ammonius, a god of air and creation, whose quiet strength and mysterious nature complemented Ra's fiery brilliance. The fusion of Ammonius and Ra gave rise to Ammonius Ra, a deity whose combined essence represented both the hidden, secretive force of creation and the visible, life-giving power of the sun. Ammonius Ra symbolized the unity of the divine and the tangible, blending the invisible power of the sky with the undeniable light of the sun. Similarly, Ra's merging with Atum, the ancient god of the setting sun and creation, brought forth the figure of Atum Ra. This union symbolized the completion of the daily cycle, from the sunrise to the sunset. Atum Ra represented not only the beginning and end of each day but also the eternal continuity of creation, a reminder that the cycle of life and death was a sacred and perpetual truth. Ra's role extended far beyond the cosmic. He was the guardian of Ma'at, the divine principle of truth, balance, and cosmic order. Ma'at was the guiding force that ensured the universe remained in harmony, and Ra was its vigilant protector. Each day, as Ra traversed the sky, he carried with him the responsibility of maintaining Ma'at. His light was not just a physical phenomenon but a spiritual force that upheld the balance between chaos and order. The rising and setting of the sun were a constant affirmation of this divine order, a reminder that even in the face of darkness, there was always a return to light and balance. The pharaohs of Egypt, considered to be divine rulers, were intimately connected to Ra. They were seen as the living embodiments of the sun god on earth, acting as his representatives and enforcers of his will. The power of Ra was directly linked to the authority of the pharaohs. Each ruler was expected to uphold Ma'at and ensure the prosperity and stability of the kingdom. The divine mandate given to the pharaohs was not just a political duty but a sacred responsibility, rooted in their connection to Ra. The temples dedicated to Ra were grand and awe-inspiring, built to honor the sun god and to reflect his divine majesty. Rituals and offerings were made to ensure Ra's favor and to seek his guidance in maintaining the cosmic order. The daily rituals performed in these temples were not mere ceremonies but essential acts of devotion aimed at reinforcing the divine connection between Ra and the land. Ra's influence was also deeply felt in the cultural and spiritual life of the Egyptians. Festivals and celebrations in honor of Ra were marked by elaborate ceremonies, music, and feasting. These events were more than just public gatherings, they were sacred expressions of gratitude and reverence for the sun god who brought life and light to the world. The figure of Ra, in his various manifestations and through his many connections, stood as a towering symbol of divine authority and cosmic balance. His presence was felt in every sunrise, every moment of daylight, and every ritual performed in his honor. Ra was not just the king of gods, but the very embodiment of the divine order that shaped and sustained the universe. His light was a constant reminder of the power of creation and the eternal cycle of life, an enduring symbol of the divine majesty that governed the heavens and the earth. Each morning, as the first light of dawn stretches across the sky, a magnificent sight unfolds, a celestial voyage that has captivated hearts and imaginations for centuries. Ra, the sun god, sets sail across the heavens on his resplendent solar barge, known as the Bark of Millions of Years. This daily journey is not just a grand procession of light but a powerful symbol of life, renewal, and the eternal cycle that governs the universe. The Bark of Millions of Years is no ordinary vessel. It gleams with a divine radiance, its structure crafted from the purest gold and adorned with precious stones that catch and reflect the sun's early light. As Ra climbs aboard this celestial craft, he takes his place at the prow, his presence commanding awe and reverence. The barge, floating effortlessly through the sky, becomes the stage for a journey that transcends the bounds of time and space. As dawn breaks, The bark of millions of years begins its journey from the horizon's edge, marking the start of a new day. Ra's journey across the sky is a spectacle of light and color, a daily miracle that brings warmth and life to the world below. The sky transforms into a canvas of brilliant hues, painting the heavens with shades of gold, orange, and pink, a tribute to Ra's powerful ascent. Throughout the day, the solar barge glides gracefully across the sky, cutting through the clouds as if they were mere wisps of vapor. The light from Ra's barge spreads across the land, nurturing the earth and awakening all living things. This journey from dawn to dusk is more than just a daily routine, it is a reflection of the life-giving energy that sustains the world. It symbolizes the cycle of existence, where each sunrise brings new beginnings, and each sunset marks the end of a day, making way for the night. As Ra travels, he is accompanied by a host of divine guardians and companions who aid him in this sacred voyage. Among them is Thoth, the god of wisdom and writing, who takes the form of an ibis or a baboon. Thoth's role is to record the events of the day, ensuring that every moment of Ra's journey is documented in the great cosmic ledger. With Thoth's help, every sunrise and sunset is meticulously noted, preserving the balance of time and the order of the universe. Ma'at, the goddess of truth and harmony, is another crucial companion on this celestial voyage. With her feathered headdress, she represents the principles of cosmic balance and justice. Ma'at ensures that Ra's journey maintains the harmony of the universe, preventing chaos from seeping into the divine order. Her presence is a constant reminder of the delicate equilibrium that holds the world together. As Ra's barge moves higher in the sky, it passes through various regions of the heavens, each with its own unique character and significance. The journey is not merely a transit but a sacred pilgrimage through the cosmos. Ra's light touches every corner of the earth, from the lush, green valleys to the vast, arid deserts, symbolizing his far-reaching influence and care for all creation. As the day draws to a close and the sun begins its descent towards the horizon, the scene transforms into a breathtaking spectacle. The bark of millions of years sails towards the edge of the world, preparing to descend into the underworld. This transition marks the end of Ra's daytime journey and the beginning of his nightly voyage through the dark realm. The fading light of the sun casts long shadows across the land, a poignant reminder of the temporary nature of day and the inevitability of night. Ra's journey is not without challenges. As the barge moves through the sky, it encounters obstacles and trials that test the strength and resolve of the sun god. Dark forces lurk in the shadows, threatening to engulf the light and bring chaos to the world. Yet, with the aid of his divine companions and the unwavering support of his guardians, Ra navigates these dangers with courage and determination. The bark of millions of years eventually reaches the underworld, where Ra's nightly journey continues. This descent is a moment of profound transformation, a time when Ra must confront the forces of darkness and chaos to ensure the return of the sun. The journey through the underworld is a testament to Ra's enduring strength and the eternal struggle between light and dark. As Ra's solar barge completes its voyage through the underworld, the first light of dawn begins to break once more. The cycle of Ra's journey starts anew, bringing with it the promise of renewal and hope. The sun rises again, bathing the world in its golden glow, a daily miracle that reaffirms the divine order and the continuous cycle of life and death. Ra's daily journey on the bark of millions of years is more than a celestial spectacle, it is a powerful symbol of the divine rhythm that governs existence. Each day, as the sun travels across the sky, it brings light and life to the world, reflecting the eternal cycle of creation and renewal. With every sunrise and sunset, the story of Ra's journey continues, a timeless testament to the beauty and majesty of the sun god's divine voyage. As the sun dips below the horizon and the day gives way to night, Ra begins his most formidable quest, the perilous voyage through the Deity, the Egyptian underworld. This nightly journey is fraught with danger and darkness, a dramatic contrast to the radiant beauty of his daytime ascent. The underworld is a realm of shadows and threats, where Ra must confront the very forces that seek to engulf the light he brings. Ra's solar barge, now shrouded in the inky darkness of night, enters the depths of the Deity. Here, the sky is a dark, swirling expanse, filled with treacherous obstacles and sinister creatures. The once familiar light of Ra's sun is replaced by the cold, consuming dark of the underworld, where every moment is a battle for survival. One of the most fearsome adversaries Ra encounters in this shadowy realm is the serpent Apophis, a monstrous creature with a body that coils endlessly and eyes that burn with malevolent fire. Apophis, also known as Apep, represents the chaos and darkness that threaten to overtake the world. His very existence is a constant challenge to Ra's light, a persistent menace that seeks to swallow the sun and plunge the world into eternal night. As Ra's barge sails through the underworld, Apophis lies in wait, ready to strike with a hunger for destruction. The serpent's presence is a looming threat, a dark cloud that hangs over Ra's journey. Each encounter with Apophis is a harrowing battle, a clash between light and darkness, order and chaos. The struggle is fierce, with Ra and his divine allies fighting to protect the sun and ensure its return to the sky at dawn. The battle with Apophis is not just a physical struggle but a symbolic fight for balance and order. In the face of Apophis's dark power, Ra's struggle represents the eternal conflict between light and darkness, life and death. It is a poignant reminder of the delicate balance that must be maintained to keep the universe in harmony. Each night, as Ra battles Apophis, he embodies the hope that light will triumph over darkness and that the cycle of day and night will continue unbroken. Ra is not alone in his fight against Apophis. His journey through the Duat is supported by a host of divine companions, each playing a crucial role in the nightly battle. Among these allies is the goddess Ma'at, who represents truth and order. Her presence is a guiding force, helping to ensure that Ra's path remains true and that chaos does not overwhelm the journey. Thoth, the god of wisdom and writing, also plays a vital role in this nocturnal voyage. As Ra's scribe and advisor, Thoth records the events of the night, keeping track of the progress and the challenges faced. His knowledge and guidance are essential in navigating the complex and dangerous underworld, ensuring that Ra's journey remains on course. The Duat is a labyrinthine place, filled with traps and dangers at every turn. Ra must navigate through dark rivers and treacherous terrain, confronting terrifying beasts and overcoming obstacles that test his strength and resolve. Each step through this dark realm is a testament to Ra's enduring power and determination. As Ra's barge moves through the Duat, the sky gradually begins to lighten, signaling the approach of dawn. The end of the journey is in sight, but the final moments are filled with tension and uncertainty. The struggle against Apophis and the darkness of the underworld is a final, crucial battle that will determine whether the sun will rise again. With a burst of divine strength, Ra defeats Apophis and emerges victorious. The darkness recedes, and the first light of dawn begins to pierce the night. The world, once again, is bathed in the golden light of Ra's sun. The cycle continues, a testament to the eternal struggle between light and darkness and the unwavering power of the sun god to bring light and life to the world. In the earliest whispers of creation, when the universe was still taking its first breaths, Ra stood at the heart of it all. His divine presence was more than just a source of light, it was the spark that ignited the birth of the world and everything within it. As Ra looked upon the endless void, his power began to shape the cosmos, weaving light and life into the fabric of existence. Ra's role in creation began with the very essence of his being. As the sun god, his light was the first force to pierce the darkness, illuminating the emptiness and giving shape to the world. With every beam of sunlight, Ra sculpted the land, creating mountains that rose majestically from the earth and rivers that carved their paths through the valleys. The earth itself seemed to awaken under the warmth of his light, sprouting lush forests and vibrant meadows that danced in the sun's embrace. From Ra's divine tears flowed the creation of the first gods and goddesses. These tears, each drop imbued with the essence of Ra's own power, became the seeds of new life and new divinity. The first of these gods were born from Ra's tears, each one taking on a role that would help shape and sustain the world. They were not merely creations, they were extensions of Ra's will, each carrying a piece of his divine essence. Among these first gods were powerful figures who would become central to the Egyptian pantheon. Hathor, the goddess of love and motherhood, emerged from Ra's tears, bringing warmth and nurturing care to the world. Osiris, the god of the afterlife, was born from this divine act, destined to guide souls through the transition from life to death. These gods and goddesses were not just beings of myth, they were vital forces that upheld the balance of the universe and ensured that Ra's creation flourished. Ra's influence extended beyond the birth of gods and goddesses. His control over the elements and natural forces was profound and far-reaching. The sun itself was a symbol of Ra's power, commanding the warmth and light that made life possible. He wielded the sun's rays like a divine scepter, ensuring that the world received the right amount of light and heat to thrive. The wind, too, was under Ra's dominion. With a breath, he could summon gentle breezes or fierce storms, shaping the weather and influencing the seasons. The rain, which fell to nourish the earth, was seen as Ra's blessing, a gift that sustained the crops and replenished the land. The sun, wind, and rain all carried the mark of Ra's influence, a testament to his power over the natural world. Ra's ability to control these natural forces was not merely a display of power, it was a manifestation of his care for the world he had created. Each element was a reflection of his divine will, a way to ensure that the world remained in balance and harmony. The changing of the seasons, the cycle of day and night, and the ebb and flow of the elements all spoke to Ra's ongoing role as the creator and sustainer of life. As Ra's light spread across the newly formed world, it brought life and vibrancy to every corner. Plants grew in the fertile soil, animals roamed the land, and humans emerged as the final and most cherished creation. These first humans were born under the light of Ra's sun, a living testament to the divine care and creativity that had shaped their existence. They were not just creations, they were a reflection of Ra's own divine essence, carrying within them a piece of the sun god's light. The myths surrounding Ra's control over the elements and natural forces were filled with wonder and reverence. Stories of Ra's daily journey across the sky and his nightly battles against darkness were more than just tales, they were a reminder of the delicate balance that sustained the world. They spoke of Ra's unwavering dedication to his creation, his ability to bring light to the darkest places, and his role as the ultimate source of life and order. In the grand tapestry of creation, Ra stood at the center, his light and power weaving together the threads of existence. His tears, the birth of the gods, and his control over the elements were all expressions of his divine will, shaping the world and ensuring that it thrived under his care. The myths of Ra's creation are a powerful reminder of the sun god's enduring influence, his role as the ultimate creator, and the light that continues to shine upon the world he brought into being. In the tapestry of Egyptian mythology, the Eye of Ra emerges as one of the most striking and multifaceted symbols. It represents both fierce protection and overwhelming destruction, a duality that captures the essence of Ra's divine power. This eye, often depicted as a fiery, all-seeing gaze, holds the capacity to shield and to punish, embodying Ra's complex nature as a deity of both benevolence and wrath. The Eye of Ra is not just an abstract symbol but a living force within the mythic world. As a protector, it is a vigilant guardian, watching over creation with unwavering attention. Its gaze ensures that the universe remains in balance, defending it from threats and ensuring that order is maintained. This protective eye was often personified as fierce goddesses who embodied its power and ferocity. Sekhmet, the lioness-headed goddess, is one of the most renowned manifestations of the Eye of Ra. Her presence is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, embodying the destructive power of Ra's eye. Sekhmet's role was not merely to inflict punishment but to act as an agent of divine justice. When humanity strayed from the path of order and justice, Sekhmet was unleashed as Ra's wrathful eye, a force of retribution and correction. In one of the most dramatic tales, Sekhmet was sent by Ra to punish humanity for their disobedience. The story unfolds with Ra's displeasure at the humans' behavior, leading him to dispatch Sekhmet to bring them back to the right path. Sekhmet's rampage was fierce and relentless, a manifestation of the Eye's wrath that swept through the land. The goddess's fury was so intense that it threatened to destroy all of humanity. Only through clever intervention and the creation of a potion to dull Sekhmet's rage was the world spared from complete annihilation. This tale speaks to the fearsome nature of the Eye of Ra, where divine anger can bring about both great destruction and eventual restoration. Hathor, another powerful figure associated with the Eye of Ra, represents a different aspect of this dual nature. As a goddess of love and joy, Hathor's connection to the eye of Ra is more benevolent. When Ra's protective gaze is softened by love and care, Hathor embodies this nurturing side, offering guidance and comfort. Her presence balances the more fearsome attributes of Sekhmet, illustrating how the eye of Ra can act in both harshness and compassion. In addition to its mythic stories, the Eye of Ra held significant importance in Egyptian magic and rituals. The eye symbol was used as a potent amulet, believed to provide protection and ensure divine favor. It was a symbol of Ra's watchful presence, safeguarding individuals and communities from harm. The Eye of Ra was often depicted on jewelry, amulets, and even in the decoration of tombs, serving as a constant reminder of Ra's protective gaze. Rituals involving the Eye of Ra were integral to Egyptian religious practices. Priests and worshippers invoked the eye's power in ceremonies to seek protection, heal illnesses, or drive away evil. The rituals often involved recitations and offerings meant to honor Ra and his eye, ensuring that its power would be directed toward safeguarding and blessing those who sought its favor. The Eye of Ra was also a symbol of cosmic justice. In the grand tapestry of Egyptian belief, it was a reminder of the balance that must be maintained between order and chaos. The eye's power to both protect and punish underscored the belief that divine intervention was necessary to keep the universe in harmony. It was a symbol of the divine order that Ra upheld, representing the constant vigilance required to ensure that the balance between light and darkness, life and death, was preserved. The emotional impact of the Eye of Ra lies in its embodiment of the divine's capacity for both compassion and severity. The stories of Sekhmet's wrath and Hathor's nurturing presence illustrate the complex nature of Ra's gaze. It is a reminder that the divine watchfulness is not a passive observation but an active force that can shape the fate of the world. The Eye of Ra, with its dual nature, represents the profound and sometimes fearsome power of the divine, a constant reminder of the balance that must be maintained and the protection that is always at hand. As time weaves its relentless tapestry, even the mightiest of gods are not immune to its effects. The story of Ra's decline is a poignant tale of aging and change, where the once invincible sun god finds himself weakened by the passage of time. This myth touches the heart, revealing the vulnerability of even the greatest of beings. In the later years of Ra's reign, the brilliance that once defined his celestial presence began to dim. His radiant light, which had once illuminated the world with boundless energy, now seemed to wane. The once unstoppable force of the sun grew weary, his power ebbing as he aged. The sky, which had always been his domain, now seemed less vibrant, reflecting the gradual loss of his once unyielding strength. Ra's decline was not merely a physical weakening but a shift in the balance of power within the divine order. The lesser gods, who had long been in Ra's shadow, began to feel their own power grow. They saw the opportunity to rise, as Ra's diminishing light created space for new forces to emerge. Among these rising deities were Osiris and Isis, whose ascent marked a significant transformation in Egyptian mythology. Osiris, the god of the afterlife, began to take on greater importance as Ra's power waned. Once a figure of death and rebirth, Osiris became a central figure in the Egyptian pantheon, embodying the promises of renewal and eternal life. His story of resurrection and the guidance he offered to souls became a beacon of hope and stability as Ra's light grew fainter. Isis, the goddess of magic and motherhood, also rose to prominence during this time. Known for her wisdom and nurturing care, Isis's role became increasingly vital as she supported and protected the living and the dead alike. Her devotion to Osiris and her own powerful magic made her a central figure in the shifting dynamics of the divine world. As Ra's power continued to diminish, he made the heart-wrenching decision to retreat from his once dominant position. The sun god withdrew to the heavens, no longer the central force he once was, but rather a more distant, though still revered, presence. His retreat was not just a physical relocation, but a symbolic shift in the balance of power. The sky, once his throne, became a backdrop to the new era of gods who now held sway over the mortal and divine realms. Ra's retreat was a bittersweet transition. While his light continued to grace the world with its warmth, it was no longer the overpowering force it once was. His role shifted from the central figure of creation and rule to a more distant, yet still important, presence in the sky. The divine order adjusted to accommodate the new leaders who rose to take his place, weaving their own stories into the fabric of Egyptian mythology. The transition of power was a deeply emotional moment, reflecting the natural cycle of life and the inevitable changes that come with time. Ra's decline and the rise of Osiris and Isis symbolized the changing nature of power and the continuity of divine influence. Even as Ra's direct control over the world lessened, his legacy endured, influencing the new generation of gods who shaped the destiny of both gods and mortals. In this story of Ra's aging, there is a profound sense of the passage of time and the shifting tides of power. It is a poignant reminder that even the greatest beings are subject to the forces of change and that their influence continues to resonate through the lives and stories of those who follow. In the grand tapestry of ancient Egypt, the connection between Ra and the pharaohs was a thread of divine significance, weaving together the spiritual and earthly realms. The pharaohs, regarded as Ra's earthly representatives, were seen not just as rulers but as living embodiments of the sun god's will. This sacred bond was central to the pharaonic rule, where every aspect of their reign was intertwined with Ra's divine presence. From the moment a pharaoh ascended to the throne, they were believed to be chosen by Ra himself. The divine right to rule was not just a political claim but a profound spiritual reality. The pharaohs were considered the sons of Ra, a title that placed them in a direct line of divine authority, charged with maintaining the cosmic order and ensuring the prosperity of the land. This belief elevated the pharaohs beyond mere mortals, casting them as intermediaries between the gods and the people. The rituals and ceremonies dedicated to Ra by the pharaohs were elaborate and deeply symbolic. Each day began with a ceremonial act that mirrored Ra's journey across the sky. The pharaoh would perform rituals that symbolically reenacted Ra's rising, shining, and setting, affirming their role as the god's earthly counterpart. These ceremonies were more than mere tradition, they were acts of devotion and affirmation of the pharaoh's divine connection. Sun temples, monumental structures dedicated to Ra, were constructed across Egypt, serving as sacred spaces where the divine light could be honored and celebrated. These temples were architectural marvels, designed to capture the sun's rays and direct them towards the gods. The grandiosity of these temples reflected the immense respect and reverence held for Ra inside. Priests performed daily rituals that invoked Ra's blessings, ensuring that his divine light continued to guide and protect the land. Ra's presence in royal iconography was both majestic and omnipresent. Pharaohs were often depicted with Ra's symbols, such as the solar disk encircled by the sacred serpent. This imagery was not just decorative but a powerful statement of the divine authority granted to the pharaohs. The sun god's presence was a constant reminder of the divine mandate that upheld the pharaoh's rule and the stability of the kingdom. The sun itself was more than just a celestial body in this iconography, it was a symbol of life, light, and order. The pharaohs, as the living representatives of Ra, were seen as the bearers of this divine light. Their role was to reflect Ra's brilliance upon the earth, guiding their people with wisdom and ensuring the continued favor of the gods. This connection was so deeply ingrained that the health and success of the kingdom were directly linked to the pharaoh's ability to maintain their divine favor. Every aspect of pharaonic rule was infused with Ra's symbolism. The daily rituals, the grand temples, and the royal iconography all served to reinforce the idea that the pharaoh's power was a direct extension of Ra's divine will. The sun's journey across the sky was mirrored in the pharaoh's daily activities, creating a sacred rhythm that aligned the earthly realm with the cosmic order. The relationship between Ra and the pharaohs was not static, it was a living, breathing bond that adapted to the needs of the time. As Egypt faced challenges or celebrated victories, the pharaohs would renew their commitment to Ra through rituals and offerings, reaffirming their role as the sun god's chosen rulers. This dynamic relationship was a source of strength and stability, providing a divine foundation upon which the kingdom could thrive. In the grand narrative of Egyptian mythology and history, the connection between Ra and the pharaohs stands as a powerful testament to the profound interplay between the divine and the earthly. The rituals, temples, and iconography surrounding this relationship created a deeply sacred space where the light of Ra was both a guiding force and a symbol of the pharaoh's divine authority. The sun god's influence was woven into every facet of pharaonic rule, making the bond between Ra and the pharaohs a central and enduring element of Egypt's spiritual and political life. Ra's influence is a luminous thread that runs through the entire tapestry of Egyptian religion, a divine legacy that continued to shine brightly across centuries and dynasties. From the earliest days of Egyptian civilization to the Greco-Roman period, Ra's presence was a guiding light, shaping beliefs and practices in ways that transcended time. As each dynasty rose and fell, the worship of Ra remained a constant, a powerful testament to his enduring significance. The grandeur of his temples, the veneration of his symbols, and the daily rituals dedicated to him became integral to Egyptian religious life. Ra's name echoed through the ages, a symbol of divine authority and cosmic order that kings and commoners alike revered. Ra's impact was not confined to the temples and palaces, it wove itself into the very fabric of Egyptian funerary practices. The Book of the Dead, an essential guide for the journey to the afterlife, brimmed with references to Ra and his vital role in the passage from life to eternity. As souls prepared for the great journey into the underworld, they invoked Ra's protection and guidance. The text depicted Ra as a beacon of hope, his light guiding the deceased through the darkness of the Duat. The prayers and spells sought his favor, ensuring that the departed would be granted safe passage and eternal life. In the intricate rituals of mummification and burial, Ra's influence was evident in the careful preparations made to honor and invoke his power. The imagery of Ra, often depicted as a radiant sun disk or a falcon-headed deity, adorned the tombs and sarcophagi of the deceased. These symbols were not merely decorative but carried profound significance, embodying the hope that Ra's divine light would shine upon the soul's journey and secure its place in the afterlife. Ra's legacy also extended into the realm of other Egyptian deities. His mythology was seamlessly integrated with the stories of other gods and goddesses, creating a rich tapestry of divine interactions. Deities like Osiris and Horus, who were central figures in the Egyptian pantheon, were linked to Ra through myths and rituals. Ra's influence shaped their stories, and their roles often reflected aspects of his own divine attributes. The syncretism of Ra's mythology with that of other gods ensured that his essence continued to resonate throughout the Egyptian religious landscape. The continuation of Ra's worship reached beyond the borders of Egypt, extending into the Greco-Roman period. As Egypt came under the influence of Greek and Roman rule, Ra's cult adapted and persisted, merging with new traditions while retaining its core essence. The sun god's imagery and attributes were absorbed into the new cultural context, where Ra was venerated alongside the gods of Olympus. His legacy lived on in the temples and ceremonies that honored him, reflecting the timeless appeal of his divine presence. In every phase of Egyptian history, from the grandeur of the Old Kingdom to the shifting tides of the Greco-Roman era, Ra's legacy endured. His worship was a continuous thread, binding the past with the present, and his influence was felt in every aspect of Egyptian spiritual life. The light of Ra, once a guiding force in the heavens, continued to shine brightly through the ages, illuminating the path of faith and devotion for generations to come. Ra's story is not confined to the ancient sands of Egypt, it has cast a long shadow into modern culture, literature, and art. The sun god's influence continues to inspire and captivate, revealing how timeless his legacy truly is. In literature and art, Ra's presence remains a potent symbol of light and power. Modern creators often draw on his myth to evoke themes of strength, divinity, and cosmic order. Writers and artists, inspired by the ancient depictions of Ra, weave his radiant imagery into contemporary narratives. In novels, Ra appears as a figure of awe, embodying the boundless energy and brilliance of the sun. In visual art, his symbol, the solar disk and falcon, adorns canvases, merging ancient reverence with modern expression. These reinterpretations capture Ra's essence, illustrating how the sun god's power continues to shine through artistic vision. In contemporary spirituality and neo-paganism, Ra's influence has seen a resurgence. Practitioners of these modern spiritual paths often turn to Ra as a source of inspiration and guidance. The sun god's attributes, his life-giving energy, his role as a protector, and his embodiment of cosmic order are embraced as powerful symbols in rituals and practices. Ra is honored as a deity of strength and renewal, his myths providing a framework for understanding the cycles of life and nature. The sun god's enduring legacy in these spiritual practices reflects a deep connection to his ancient role as a force of creation and balance. Ra's impact on modern culture underscores his timeless appeal as a symbol of life and power. His story transcends the boundaries of history, continuing to resonate with those who seek meaning and inspiration. The sun god's legacy as a beacon of light and cosmic order remains a powerful and evocative presence in the contemporary world.